Your organization has a performance management system. It has documented KPIs, review cycles, improvement plans, and escalation paths. It is architecturally complete on paper, and it is not what fires people. The question nobody asks in the architecture review: what is the system that actually terminates careers, and who built it? Most organizations operate two parallel evaluation systems. The documented system captures output, deliverables completed, metrics hit, reviews scored. It has known thresholds, structured feedback loops, and a corrective pathway called the PIP. The undocumented system runs simultaneously. It captures trust, judgment, reliability under ambiguity, and alignment to standards that were never written down. These two systems share the same organizational substrate but operate completely different state machines. The documented system gives warnings. The undocumented system does not. In defense acquisition environments, program offices, and high-stakes technical organizations, the undocumented system is often faster, more consequential, and operated by people who have never been trained to run it. The architectural flaw is not that the undocumented system exists. Every organization maintains informal trust accounting. The flaw is that the two systems are designed as if they are the same system. Management is trained on the documented system. Employees are evaluated against both. The mismatch creates a class of failures the formal system cannot catch and cannot correct. The engineer who hits every milestone but destroys team cohesion. The program manager whose deliverables are clean but whose judgment in ambiguous situations has caused senior leadership to root around them. The contractor whose compliance is technically perfect but who has been quietly excluded from every critical conversation. The PIP never triggers. No corrective action is documented. Then one day the organization acts on information the employee never received, through a channel the employee never knew existed. Run the failure mode backward. In the majority of non-layoff terminations that are contested, the documented record is clean at the point of separation, satisfactory reviews, no active PIP, no formal warning. The actual failure accumulated in the undocumented system over 6 to 18 months, eroded trust, judgment that leadership worked around, a behavioral pattern tracked informally but never surfaced. The latency between the first undocumented failure event and the termination decision is the diagnostic signature. That latency is not compassion. It is the absence of a feedback mechanism. And in environments where security clearances, regulatory compliance, or program continuity are at stake, an 18-month detection gap is an operational liability, not just an HR problem. The architectural correction is not to eliminate the informal system. You cannot enumerate every conduct expectation in a policy document and call it solved. The correction is to build a structured feedback bridge between the two systems, a conduct observation layer that operates on observable behavioral signals, runs on the same cadence as performance reviews, and is visible to both the manager and the employee. This layer does not require legal precision. It requires operational thresholds. What does eroded trust look like as a repeatable observation? What does compromised judgment look like as a detectable pattern across more than one incident? When does routing around behavior cross from isolated event to systemic signal? Organizations that operationalize this bridge recover recoverable talent before the informal system reaches the termination threshold. The intervention cost is a fraction of the separation and backfill cost. The fix has real costs. Making implicit conduct standards explicit creates legal surface area. Criteria that are documented can be challenged in ways that informal judgments cannot. Managers who operated comfortably in the informal system now have to articulate observations they previously did not have to defend. Some organizations will discover that their informal conduct standards are not defensible once written down. That is a necessary reckoning, but it predates this fix and should not be conflated with it. The second cost is the human execution dependency. Surfacing a declining trust signal to an employee before it becomes a separation decision requires managerial courage the current architecture specifically does not demand. You can build the feedback layer. You cannot automate the conversation it requires. Every organization is running two evaluation systems simultaneously. One is documented, trained against, and reviewed on a known cadence. The other is the system that actually decides whether someone stays. The question is not whether you want the second system to exist. You do not have that option. The question is whether you architect it deliberately with defined thresholds and a live feedback loop, or let it continue operating as a black box that everyone inside the organization feels but nobody owns.